Hi, Leo Drager here. We're going to talk about what goes into a computer forensics lab. Lots of considerations. So clearly there's going to be a lot of planning that has to go on. All right, you're not just going to wake up one morning and go, poof, okay, we need a forensics lab. There's going to have to go a lot. There's going to need to be a lot of thought that goes into this, right? So somebody's going to have to pay for that. So some of the things that you may want to consider are, for example, the physical location. Is it going to be in a close proximity or in another building from your normal operations? What are the environmental conditions like heating, ventilation, air conditioning, fire suppression systems, ease of access, and things like that? Is it going to meet any sort of Tempest or MSEC requirements? If so, the price dramatically skyrockets. Does it meet all of your ordinance and codes and laws and regulations? How are you going to control access to it, right? Is it going to be on the first floor? Is it going to be on the top floor? Is it going to be in the basement? All of these are considerations that we have to evaluate. How are you going to work with the different licensing models? What are the electrical requirements? Somebody's going to have to power the lab, right? How are we going to address things like work area separation? Is everybody realistically intended to work in the same physical location, or is it just going to be a bunch of cubicles? Or are you going to have hard drive analysis in one part? Or are you going to have wireless devices in another part, ballistics in another, right? How are you going to integrate with human resources and other traditional work environment components like human resources or accounting or payroll or employee timesheets and things like that? We're going to talk a lot about auditing because there's a variety of auditing entities to have someone to come in and evaluate your lab to make sure that it meets all of the international and national requirements. Okay. We've got actual hardware that's going to go into the labs, right? So there's going to be a lot of hard drive consideration. One of the biggest factors that'll go into any sort of laboratory, whether it be a mobile lab or a physical lab, is space of hard drives, okay? Think about it. You're collecting hard drives routinely, and how many terabytes after terabytes after terabytes can you possibly collect? And what are you going to do with that evidence? Are you going to store them on an exact copy or a physical duplicate of the hardware that you've acquired? And if so, you're going to need an inventory of most major drives available. Are you going to put it on a storage area network or something to the effect? All right. If you're going to go mobile, one of the biggest difference between a regular lab and a mobile lab is, well, in mobile, everything's designed to pretty much pack and go, right? So speed, easeability of just getting it in and out. Everything has to have cases, wheeled cases. So it's got to be packed and just ready to go. Just think of it like traveling, just as much as you were to travel versus you living in your house, right? When you live in your house, you've got all your stuff there. You can pretty much set it up and have permanent storage. But when you travel, everything's got to be smaller and broken down. Everything from your shampoos to your everything, right? Ready to go. Well, forensics labs are no different, okay? If you're going to take a hard drive and bring it to a truck and do some imaging in the back of a truck, you need to be prepared to do that, okay? Also, software considerations. How are you going to address things like licensing, open source software, closed software, commercial software, freebie software, and all of the software, does it actually meet the actual requirements? Because remember, we have to do things the industry standard. You can't just wake up and say, hey, we're going to do something like this one day. So there's a lot of planning and a lot of thought that goes into actually getting a forensics capability up and running. So we're going to take each one of these subjects and look at them a little bit more closer. Stick with me.